This is an overview of the basic tuning process covered in the next 10 videos. If necessary, stop this video at this point, read through the process, and then continue on with the rest of the videos. Let's have a look around the cam angle maps. Columns 1 and 2, where you have very high manifold vacuum, measured by millibar here, are the deceleration maps. They are when you're changing gear, you lift off the accelerator, the computer wants to put the cam angles at 0 or 5 degrees. That is, the cam lobe centers are separated. Valve overlap is minimal, very, very small, and there's very little contamination of intake fuel going into the exhaust system. Good for emissions, so keeping these cam angles small makes your car run very smoothly under deceleration. This part of the map, in this section here, this is the idle. Very small cam angle again, very good emissions. This section of the map here, this is cruise. This is where you probably spend 90 to 95% of the time driving your vehicle. Now there's a bit of cam angle advance here. This gives you a little bit of overlap, and the reason why Honda have programmed this angle in here is so that you get a little bit of EGR, exhaust gas recirculation effect. Exhaust gas comes back into the cylinder and then a little bit up the intake, and then it gets sucked back into the cylinder, improving the emissions and allowing the K-series engines to get a very good emission standard. This part of the map here is the power section of the map, and as you can see, as we go up, the cam angle gets smaller and smaller and smaller. This bit here at 40 degrees, this is a bit that Honda have programmed in, and what this does in this particular instance, this map is for a supercharged RSX. Now on the low cam it would actually want around about 25 degrees in this area, but on the high cam it actually wants around 50 degrees. The VTEC point is set at 4000 RPM. So as the cam is moving from 3500 to 4000 RPM, this tells the computer to rotate the cam and advance it towards the 40 degree position, so when you switch to the high speed cam you're already at the correct angle or very close to the correct angle for the power that's required for the high speed cam. Again, on the high speed cam we maintain 0 and 5 degrees overlap for relatively low RPM positions, which is normally in the area of cruise. But why don't we retard it to 0 up at this end of the rev range? There's a very good reason for this. When you're driving your vehicle, let's say you're looking now for power, you will accelerate and you will go right up the rev range. You'll probably change gear at somewhere around 8500 RPM. When you lift off the accelerator, you'll come back here, 85, drop down a couple of thousand RPM to say 6,500 RPM, and then go over here again. And this entire driving sequence, you're keeping the cam at 50 degrees. In this case, 50 degrees is required for a supercharger. If the cam retarded to 0, it would take time to retard the cam to advance the cam from 0 degrees here back to 50 degrees. So keeping the cam angle constant in this area here means the cam angle stays at maximum advance all the time, which is very good for power. The cam takes a specific time, typically half, sometimes 3/4 of a second, to rotate from 0 to 50 degrees. And if you keep on retarding the cam to 0, you're going to lose power, because when you go back onto full throttle, you're not going to be 50, you're going to be going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And in a supercharged vehicle, you need to keep the cam at full advance. If the cam is retarded, you'll get a boost spike, and that boost spike will actually cause you to lose power.